Ladies and gentlemen, that is how you do a go-home show. What's going on, everybody? It's your buddy, it's your pal Spaz Phoenix, the YWC Reality Check, here with your Raw review. Here with your July 13th, I think? More importantly, your Battleground Go Home Raw review. I wasn't able to do the fights on Wednesday night last week. Combination of I was busy and I was really tired. I'll be perfectly honest with you guys. As you all know, the fights on Wednesday night includes NXT, therefore I didn't review NXT, but WWE was nice enough, because they love me that much, to bring NXT to me. I'm kidding, obviously. I'm not actually that arrogant. I'm not Deluxe Man. But we did have a lot of NXT influence on this show tonight, and it's good, obviously. We all know what I'm going to talk to when the time comes. But not only that, everybody that looked good tonight, pretty much everybody that looked good tonight was from NXT. Is that fair to say? Start off, obviously, with Lesnar and Heyman. Heyman introducing Lesnar as the caddy-crushing, J&J conquering badass of Battleground, his client, Brock Lesnar. Tells the whole Heyman does his whole salesman spiel. He says, you have a rare opportunity on Sunday to see the Beast enter as a challenger, as he did when he victimized Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and became champion, as he did when he victimized one of the best guys in UFC, Randy Couture, and walked out champion, as he did when he went in and victimized John Cena, eat, sleep, conquer, repeat, became champion. Brock would be champion right now if it wasn't for Seth Rollins and the Money in the Bank briefcase. He's going to go in this Sunday, victimize Seth Rollins, and become champion. Seth Rollins, you're going to be beat up, you're going to get your ass kicked, you're going to get suplexes, you're going to be F5, you're going to be pinned by my beast, Brock Lesnar. In none of this does he mention the Kimura lock, which is kind of... I would really like to see, if Brock Lesnar is going to win, I would love to see him lock in the Kimura lock on Seth Rollins. But that's just me. Rollins comes out with Kane. The announcers make a big point of saying Triple H isn't here tonight. J&J security are basically broken in half. Rollins is running out of help. Now, as has been the pattern in the past little while, he's immediately met with the Justin Bieber chants, which unfortunately I think are gonna stick with him until he turns face, which will be great when it happens, but whatever. And Rollins says, it's pretty sad that a crushed car makes Lesnar so happy. It puts a big smile on his face. Sunday, I'm going to wipe the smile off your face. You're a coward. You beat up an inanimate object. You beat up a car. You didn't beat up me. But more importantly, you smashed a gift to my friends J&J. And everybody laughs, and the Justin Bieber chants get louder. Why are you still carrying it around? Because the car, as... anybody that watched SmackDown knows, the car got crushed. They showed footage of the car being crushed. I'm not sure why. And the car was brought out on SmackDown to taunt Seth Rollins. The car was on the rampway, or not on the rampway, but in that little dead spot behind the crowd in front of the rampway. The whole show. It wasn't brought out as a big thing. It was just there the whole show. Why are you still carrying it around? Are you that sad? Do you need that broken car to be your symbol? He holds up his belt. This is my symbol. I'm the greatest champion. I'm the real champion. You're a thug, a criminal, a vandal, and I am going to be the one on Sunday that burns Suplex City to the ground. Lesnar, kind of just leaning on the ropes. Lesnar actually grabs the microphone, scary I thought as that is, and says, how about we just do it tonight, bitch? Obviously, that's not going to happen because Lesnar's contract and whatever. But Kane is there as the executive. Everybody needs to stay calm. There's going to be a contract signing tonight. This match is best for business, and anybody that keeps this match from happening will be dealt with accordingly. Heyman begins to mercilessly mock Kane, which is great, capping it off with calling Undertaker Kane's baby brother, which from this crowd gets a great baby brother chant, which is fantastic. My client, Brock Lesnar, conquered your big brother's undefeated streak at WrestleMania. Brock Lesnar will behave tonight as long as Seth Rollins obeys the 11th commandment to not intentionally incite the beast, Brock Lesnar. Next up is a match that I could talk about, but I'll give you I wrote it all down like I do. I really just don't want to talk to it because this was the one boring segment that we had to get through to get to the rest of the good shit we had tonight. Ryback and Orton versus Show and Sheamus. It's a boring tag match. The most entertaining thing, honestly, and I'm not just saying that's because Miz is my boy and I'm biased, the most entertaining thing about this match is the fact that Ryback tried a really botchy suicide dive and The Miz on commentary. The Miz starts heckling both Big Show and Ryback, obviously leading into their match on Sunday. Big Show basically knocks out Ryback and chases Miz up the rampway. The faces 2-on-1 on the heel. The baby faces win. Everybody goes home happy except for anybody that was actually watching the match. See, look at all the shit I just saved you guys. I actually wrote all that shit down. I don't know why. What I would have written down, point for point, if it had actually happened, was Ambrose versus Wyatt, which was advertised on the pre-show and at the beginning of the show. But as Wyatt makes his entrance, as the lights come up, you see Roman Reigns behind him, sort of mimicking the mind games of Bray Wyatt, which is great. Roman pounds the living crap out of Wyatt, which is great. On the rampway, on the guardrails, on the apron, head to the post. Low apron dropkick, Thez press, mounted punches. Both men brawl in the ring. A Samoan drop fails, but a Superman punch finds the mark. Wyatt bails. Roman Reigns goes to go after him, and Wyatt, we don't have the rocking chair anymore, but we do still have that iconic lamp that he comes to the ring with. He bashes it into Roman's face. I will say, Roman no-sells the shit out of a lamp to the head and chases Wyatt up the ramp. I'm assuming that that's what happened because I saw Wyatt go up the ramp, I saw Roman go after him, and then I got about 20 seconds of black on my TV. Now, whether that was a fault on WWE or whether that was a fault up here in Canada by Sportsnet 360, if something absolutely magical happened in that 20 seconds or so, put it down in the box below, but I'm going to assume that Roman chased Bray Wyatt out of the building and Ambrose is just sitting there with his thumb up his ass saying, well, you buying the beers? And such. Now, rumors have gone rampant about the debuts of both Sasha Banks and Charlotte Flair. Initially, it was supposed to be Sasha Banks, Charlotte Flair, and Bayley, but apparently that's not happening because Bayley's got a hand injury. Sasha Banks and Charlotte are two of my favorite divas on NXT, or sorry, women's wrestlers, whatever. But, it's pretty decent to the idea of them coming up, and I figure with the proclamation on the pre-show that Team Bella is going to give a State of the Divas division address tonight on Raw, that the rumors of them debuting tonight would be pretty much on point. Team Bella comes out. I don't get the whole Alicia Bella thing, but I guess they're doing what's easy. They're doing a Mean Girls clicky thing. It's fine, whatever. Nikki comes out. Here's the deal. Nikki cuts a pretty damn decent heel promo. It didn't go on forever. It wasn't Paul Heyman's CM Punk material. But for the divas, it was for a diva that's not AJ Lee, I will say. How about that? It wasn't bad. It talks about how she's been a champ since November 23rd of last year. She's been a champ for 232 days. It's the race to 300. She's been the definition of fearless. She is the total diva. She is unstoppable, and we are unstoppable. We have the power because I have this. It's great. Stephanie McMahon comes out, and here's the deal. The whole time, there was the battle of the Bellas and Stephanie being on Nikki's side and being mean to Brie, even though their sisters are together. Stephanie has maintained that she's a heel, which makes sense because she's in the Authority, and the Authorities are heel. But she comes out and basically tells off Nikki Bella. You don't run the division. Team Bella has been unstoppable, but that's because this division is in much need of a revolution. Immediately you hear the Ric Flair woo chants for Charlotte, which on the one hand is good because everybody knows what's coming and they're excited, but can we not come up with something for her, not her dad? Now, there's going to be something else later on in the night with somebody else's dad that's totally respectful and I don't have a problem with it whatsoever. In this case, it's a matter of Just stop the woos. Women are making their mark all over the sports world. Women really need to step up and make their mark in pro wrestling. She introduces Paige. Paige has been the one woman that has tried to start a revolution all by herself, but you can't start a revolution by yourself. You need help. And I figure with all the wooing, here comes Charlotte or here comes Sasha. I love WWE sometimes because the first one that comes out is Becky fucking Lynch. And I am a fucking happy kid. Oh, and fuck yes. Becky Lynch comes out, and then she mentions somebody who's bred for greatness, who's genetically superior. Obviously, Charlotte comes out, and the crowd goes fucking nuts. And there, you figure there's your three-person team. If you're going to have a team, Charlotte, Becky Lynch, Paige taking on Team Bella, that's what we're going to go for. I figured they were leading to a match at Battleground or at SummerSlam, and we were going to go from there. What I don't like is, how can I say this? Stars from NXT having their main break on the main roster isn't as effective if their video Titantron thing is an NXT banner. I mean, I know we're proud of NXT. I know a lot of fans are under the delusion NXT is better than WWE because it's not a WWE product. But if they're going to debut on the main roster, get the NXT banner out of their Titantron. I don't like it. I don't like that they're still doing it for Kevin Owens. I don't like, anyways, that's another story for another time. Naomi and Tamina interrupt the proceedings, and Naomi starts telling off Stephanie McMahon, which is always good. We have unfinished business with the Bellas. We have unfinished business with Paige. We are all the WWE needs. Stephanie invites them into the ring, says, yeah, sure. Of course you deserve a chance. Tamina, come on in. Naomi, come on in. But this division needs a boss. Oh, yes, Sasha Banks. Now, Stephanie turns to the Bella Twins and Alicia Fox and says, Nikki, you wanted some more competition. Here's some more competition. And what ensues is the best clusterfuck brawl that our Divas division has seen in a long fucking time. Capped off with all three of members of Team Bella in submission moves. I don't remember who's in what because I didn't write that much down, but one of them's in the bank statement. One is in the disarmor, Becky Lynch's arm bar crazy thing, and one is in what Michael Cole initially calls the figure 4 and later on in the show corrects himself, the figure 8, the back bridging figure 4 leg lock by Charlotte Flair, the bank statement by Charlotte Banks, the disarmor by Becky Lynch, and it's just fucking great. And Paige is there, big ass smile on her face, loving the whole damn thing. From the looks of it, they're keeping Sasha Banks heel because she was standing side by side with Naomi and Tamina while this was all going down. They had a cool little spot before the brawl actually started. You had Tamina, Naomi, and Sasha Banks on one side. You had Paige, Charlotte, and Becky, which are obviously the fan favorites, on the other side. And you had the Bellas in the middle, which is great because it showed how hated the Bellas are because the good guys don't like them and the bad guys don't like them either. How fucked is Nikki Bella? Now, I will say, because the entire time this was going on, I was texting and tweeting with my good friend and former co-host Steffi Sunshine, and, who said it's about time that Nikki lost the belt, etc. I will say, right now, I am still a Nikki Bella fan. I have no problem with her dropping the belt to any of the ladies in that ring, including her sister, including Alicia Fox, for that matter. Naomi I could do without. But I will say, if they start having matches going forward and the Bellas prove that they can raise their game and that they can keep up with these NXT divas that are untouchable, and rightfully so, I really hope that the jaded WWE fans out there that boo the Bellas because it's what you do, because the YWC rulebook tells you to, give them the credit they deserve if they earn it. If they fall on their faces, I'll be the first person to come up here on this camera and I will admit it. I will say, take it off the Bellas, let somebody else shine. But if these NXT divas, who have been blowing it out of the water, I will freely admit that, 100%, hand on heart. They have been blowing it out of the water on NXT. Sasha Banks versus Becky Lynch at NXT Unstoppable was probably one of the best matches I've seen this year. If the Bellas can raise their game and equal the NXT Divas that just came up, and we can level the playing field and they can show that they can raise themselves to that level, I want the jaded wrestling fans, like I say, that boo the Bellas just because it's in the YWC rulebook that you're not allowed to like the Bellas, to at least give them credit. You don't have to like them, but if they do it, say they did it. That's all I have to say about the matter. This was fucking phenomenal. This was fucking phenomenal. And everything that comes after this, including the main event superstars, I'm not going to lie, had something to follow after this. New Day versus the Primetime Players and Mark Henry, because Mark Henry's face this week, and this is a 3-on-3 affirmative action tag team championship tag team match, not championship, no. Obviously, New Day comes out. They cut a weird, and weird again promo about this Sunday. Obviously, they're going to win the power of positivity. Rah. Match starts. Titus O'Neil slams Big E. Titus O'Neil slams Darren Young on Big E. Titus O'Neil catches and tosses Kofi Kingston around the ring. Mark Henry tosses Woods out of the ring as we go to commercial break. Woods attacks Titus's knee, which is great psychology. They do the rotating quick tag mudhole stomp thing that is becoming New Day's thing. Drop kick by Kofi, a kick by Kofi, a kick by Woods, and a splash by Big E. All on the big guys. Woods rides a headlock because he's a positive guy and he's positive that he's a bad guy. Clotheslines by Titus. Henry squashes everybody off a hot tag. Running knee by Woods. Trouble in Paradise by Kofi. Boot by Titus. Belly to belly by Big E. World's Strongest Slam from Mark Henry to Xavier Woods that really does make you think you're going to have to pick him up with a spatula. Gets a win for the babyfaces. Which means that New Day's going to win on Sunday, doesn't it? Oh, yes. King Barrett versus King What's Up is another match that I really don't want to waste my time talking about. When we've had such a good Raw, I don't mind this. It's fun. It's a little breather in between awesome shit. It's not worth talking about, though. R-Truth gets the win after a head scissor into the turnbuckle leads into the lie detector. It's good. It's a good little thing. All the commentators are like, hey, cut R-Truth a break. He's not even out here dressed as a king this week. And then he goes under the ring and gets his robe and his crown and his plunger. And we continue this whole thing, which leads to the Battleground kickoff match, which is the battle for the crown between Wade Barrett and R-Truth. Oh, I can't wait for that one. Oh, fuck. I have so much writing for the next couple of segments, guys. I'm going to stumble. I'm going to fumble. I'm going to botch my words. I'm apologizing in advance. I was writing way too fast. Cena comes out for the John Cena Open Challenge. No opening speech, so I didn't get a chance to write Cena talks a lot, which is good. Rusev comes out. He says he's the greatest U.S. champion of all the times, and he blames Lana for losing to Cena at WrestleMania. I will break you like I broke your little boyfriend Dolph Ziggler is a nice line. He's interrupted by Owens. He says, I've decided I want to beat you tonight for the U.S. title. You can have your rematch on Sunday, which is a cocky heel thing, which is great. Rusev calls Owens a French American whatever with two first names. What is your name? Is it Kevin or is it Owen? And he goes off on a little tangent that kind of goes nowhere. Cesaro comes out. Cesaro, Owens, and Rusev brawl. We go to commercial break. Yeah, take a wild guess what happens. Over the course of the commercial break, the Authority have decided that these guys are going to have a triple threat match, and that the winner of that match is going to face Cena immediately afterwards. So Cena's pretty safe tonight. You got three of the heaviest hitters in WWE are going to wail on each other for a long time, and whatever hamburger is left is going to face John Cena. Rusev versus Owens versus Cena for the number one contendership to the United States Championship. I don't know how this is technically considered a number one contendership match, if you consider that none of these three guys are actually defined as contenders, as all they did was answer an open challenge, but whatever. Owens and Rusev double team Cesaro in the corner. Cesaro chops his way out. Rusev and Owens brawl. Mudholes on Owens. Cesaro hits a vertical suplex on Rusev. Owens hits a cannonball on Rusev. Cesaro hits an uppercut to Owens. Twice. Rusev hits a cannonball on Owens. Uppercut to Rusev from Cesaro. Cesaro and Owens trade blows. And this bugs me. Normally, I would not care about the fans heckling Cena. I really, really wouldn't. But when you've got three guys like Rusev, Owens, and Cesaro in the ring, and the only chant that's audible is "Let's go Cena, Cena sucks," I'm sorry, Atlanta, but fuck off. That's all I'm going to say about that. Owens slams Cesaro. Owens hits a swanton onto Cesaro, but Cesaro gets his knees up so that Owens bounces up off of his knees. Yeah, I can speak, I swear. Bounces up off of Cesaro's knees in time to get a super kick from Rusev. First of many awesomely choreographed spots in this match. Spinning slam on Cesaro by Rusev. Rusev boots Cesaro and Owens. Boots for one, boots for the other, boots for one, boots for the other. It's all good. Slam to Cesaro by Rusev. We have a nice Tower of Doom spot where Owens is trying to suplex. Owens is trying to second rope suplex Rusev out of the corner. Cesaro turns it into a sunset flip on Owens off the second rope, which makes Owens second rope vertical suplex Rusev off the top. Great spot. Cesaro, I have to say this, and it's bizarre because he is a no disrespect to Lesnar, but Cesaro is a beast in his own right, is he not? He looks small in this match compared to the other two. Hesitation drop kick by Cesaro on Owens. Cesaro uppercuts Rusev off the top rope. Amazing second rope tornado DDT on Cesaro by Owens. Amazing, number one, because of how well it's done. Number two, somebody that size shouldn't fly like that. I'm just putting that one out there. Owens and Rusev brawl. Cesaro belly to back suplexes both men. It's good. Cesaro basically grabs Owens, who already has Rusev, and suplexes them both. Anybody who's seen old Guerrero Angle Benoit matches will remember suplexes like this. Cesaro hits a top rope crossbody. Cesaro hits a spinning suicide crossbody on both men on the outside. Back in the ring, Cesaro hits a top rope crossbody on Rusev. Owens super kicks Cesaro. Owens hits a moonsault on Rusev successfully, but I think he misses it just a bit because it looks, especially on the replay, like you need him in the head. Anybody that remembers back in the day when we had a cruiserweight division, what Billy Kidman did to Chavo Guerrero when he knocked him out, it kind of looked like that. Fallaway slam to Cesaro by Rusev leads to the Accolade. Owens super kicks Rusev while he's got Cesaro in the Accolade, which is good. You're focused on one thing, you get kicked in the head. It's good. Cesaro hits a delayed vertical suplex on Rusev. All three men brawl. Owens bails and says, "Fuck this, Cena, I'll see you on Sunday," which is the smartest thing that anybody has done in this whole match, is it not? Commercial break, we come back. It's basically Cesaro versus Rusev now, but the announcers remind us that there's no count or disqualification in a triple threat match, so that even though Owens has left the match, that it's still triple threat rules, which means there are no countouts, there are no disqualifications, which is important. Springboard spinning uppercut by Cesaro, corner uppercuts by Cesaro, and a hesitation dropkick by Cesaro. Cesaro tries for the deadlift suplex, but Rusev, from the second rope, counters it, suplexes him to the outside, and basically twists his own body so that Cesaro lands from the second rope on the apron of the ring. And it's messy, because not only does he hit the apron of the ring, he hits some of the ropes on their way down, so he doesn't even land it straight. It looks like he should be paralyzed. I will say that. Top rope. Oh, this is where my rating gets messy, guys. Top rope face first suplex by Rusev. Rusev misses a diving headbutt, and we have a crossface by Cesaro. One of many Canadian submission moves that we're going to do. We're going to throw in there until Tyson Kidd comes back. I like that. It's a good little story. It's a quiet little way to remind us that Tyson Kidd is still a thing. It's all good. Rusev basically sits up out of the crossface and counters it into a black hole slam, which is great. Leg lariat by Rusev and a running cannonball of his own. Accolade by Rusev and headbutts. Cesaro swing into the sharpshooter is nice. Cesaro, after the sharpshooter is broken, Rusev's on the outside. Cesaro hits, I will say, big capital letters, a dirty suicide dive by Cesaro on the outside. Rusev pulls Cesaro off the top rope before Cesaro can hit a top rope something, hits a quick super kick, and gets the win. This was fantastic. And the whole time, Cena's kind of healing it up on commentary, being like, I'm fresh as a daisy, I'm fresh as a daisy. Whoever's going to face me today, they got to face a fresh John Cena. And he's kind of being a dick on commentary, which I like. Rusev versus Cena is next. Rusev's really selling the fact that he's basically hardly able to stand. Sorry, guys, my glasses are doing a thing. Pardon me. Talk amongst yourselves for a second. This is why you watch my vids. For little shit like this, right? I could edit this out, but I'm too damn lazy. Anyways, Cena immediately proves my point by starting the match with a headlock. Rusev escapes, snapmare into another headlock. Now, Atlanta, you make me a happy kid. Now you start up with the let's go Cena sucks chance. Now I have no problem with it because Cena's in the match. You see how that works? It's all good. Front slam by Cena, fisherman suplex, and a German suplex by Cena. Cena rides another headlock. Belly to belly by Cena, Cena splash in the corner, ×2. Cena shoulder tackle, ×2. A side slam and a 5-knuckle shuffle. Rusev counters the AA into an accolade that Cena counters back into a backdrop. Rusev tries for a second accolade where Owens jumps back into the ring. Miraculously, he's decided it's time to come back. Boot to the head for Cena, which ends the match. Pop-up powerbomb from Owens to Rusev, which, let's be real, is impressive. And that's how we end the segment. I like this. I really, really do. Everybody looks strong. Owens looks smart for bailing. Cesaro and Rusev beat the living crap out of each other. Cesaro doesn't look bad for losing the match. He messed up once. He allowed himself to be tossed off the top rope, and Rusev managed to squeak in a quick victory. Rusev won a triple threat against two of the toughest guys in the company, and okay, yeah, he lost to Cena after he had his ass handed to him for like a half hour by two other guys. That's not a burial. Fuck off. But no, this was seriously fantastic. You knew going into this that Cena wasn't going to lose the title. He's got a title match on Sunday, guys. I mean, would you really have wanted Rusev to pull this out and then Cena versus Owens has no stakes? Or it's another triple threat match on Sunday when you've just seen one on Raw? No, of course not. Everybody gets to look good in their own way. Cesaro looks tough. Rusev looks tough. Rusev suffers a loss that he can explain. Owens bails, but it contributes to him being a smart, not so cowardly, but smart, live to fight another day kind of heel. And Cena looks like $1 million, really, because he was willing to give 3 different guys a shot at his title tonight. Everybody wins. It's all good. We come back from commercial break, and we come back into what seems like the middle of the Tough Enough contestants sort of waving to the crowd on the rampway. I don't know why this is a thing. Then Lita's music hits. She comes in the ring, cuts a promo, talks about all the new talent that we've seen tonight, and I'm thinking, okay, I know Lita's not going to come back, but she could have one match. Come on, Becky Lynch versus Lita, maybe versus Paige, maybe versus AJ Lee. Just putting that one out there. But no, she just introduces all the Tough Enough competitors, and that's it. I will say, and I said this on Twitter, and I know that hashtags don't do anything, guys. I'm perfectly aware of this. But if you want to sort of hop on my bandwagon for something here, I did start the hashtag Women's Championship Tournament, because I believe with what they did tonight, with this rebirth of the Divas division that they're trying to do, scrap the Tramp Stamp Championship, bring back the proper Women's Championship, have a tournament, have the tournament culminate at SummerSlam, you will have a believable women's champion. Just putting that one out there. Hashtag Women's Title Tournament, or Women's Championship Tournament. However you want to do it. We get a promo from Stardust in the back, and I didn't write it all down, but basically, he says, one by one, your heroes are going to fall, embrace the strange, which is nice. I mean, how much can you say about how nice it is to see Cody Rhodes back? I know there's a lot of people that are bitching because, oh, this should have been the time that he turned back into Cody. So what you're saying is his dad passing away should have triggered a character change on a television show. You guys are all the same people that bitched when they used Paul Bearer's death in the CM Punk Undertaker angle, right? But Dusty Rhodes' death is going to be the springboard to launch Cody Rhodes again, which you guys have all been saying anyway, just because you don't like the Stardust character. You guys don't like the Stardust character anyway. You've been saying change him back to Cody Rhodes for months. So really what you're doing is you're trying to use, you as fans, some of you, and you know who you are. I'm not saying everybody, but you know who you are. You guys have something that you want out of wrestling, and you, not the WWE, you are now trying to benefit off of somebody else's death. And that, I'm sorry, is sad. Neville versus Stardust is next, and immediately we hear at the beginning of the match when Stardust makes his entranceway, obviously you hear the Cody chant. It's not the... It's interesting because they had the whole storyline before where he wasn't Cody anymore. He was just Stardust, and people chanted Cody at him, and it made him go nuts. People chanting Cody at him at the beginning of this match, I don't think it was in that regard, because it was all... Because you heard some "Let's go Cody, let's go Dusty" chants, which was really cool, because we haven't seen Stardust in a couple of weeks. We haven't seen Cody Rhodes in general in a couple of weeks, and I guess if you want to be sentimental, it was the fans' way of welcoming Stardust back. You know, we've missed you, we miss your dad, welcome back, you know, as much as you can between stars and fans. You know, we're all mourning together in our own way. I thought it was really good. But Stardust is still a heel, so when Neville goes for a handshake, he gets responded with a boot in the gut. Boots, clotheslines, and a slam by Stardust. Stardust pulls off the Orton stomp, stomping on the ankle, stomping on the wrist, stomping on the head, etc. Pendulum kick by Neville, and Stardust uses the side effect. Remember Matt Hardy's side effect? Yeah, he did that. But then comes back to something a little more familiar and rides a headlock to remind us that he's a bad guy. Finishes off the headlock with a boot to the face. Kick to the spine, neck vice, kicks and boots by Neville, several pin attempts, and a roll-up with the tights gets the win for Stardust. But nobody told the sound guy that, because what cues up is Neville's music, and it just makes me smile, because little things like that do. Rollins comes out, says he's sick of Brock Lesnar. He's sick of all the replays of Brock Lesnar destroying the car that he got for his friends, and he's acting all indignant and offended and all that sort of thing. So he decides he's going to replay the beatdown from a couple weeks ago that the Authority did on Brock Lesnar. I give you my word, I'm not afraid of Brock Lesnar. Lesnar and Heyman come out. He tells Lesnar that he has to sit down because it's a contract signing. Let's do this appropriately and responsibly and efficiently and all that sort of thing. Lesnar sits down. He sits down. He edges his way closer to the table slowly. Heyman cuts a very baby-faced promo, I have to say. Ever since you broke up the Shield, I personally have wanted to see somebody get their hands on you. And so have the fans. They've wanted to see somebody get their hands on you ever since you sold out. And ever since you stole the title from Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, he's wanted somebody to get a hold of you. Of course, that somebody being himself. How are you going to survive on Sunday? All the pressure is on you. People are paying to see you get your ass kicked. How do you feel about that? And I promise you, my beast is going to give them their money's worth. Rollins at this point is reaching sort of under the table. There's a fabric skirt around the table, and Heyman immediately freaks out. What are you doing? What are you doing? Show me your hands. Show me your hands. And sorry guys, 1 second. Almost made it through the whole vid without coughing up a lung. We're getting there. We're getting closer. Spaz is almost completely healthy, guys. And then the sinus is kicking. Heyman goes absolutely apoplectic, seeing that Rollins is trying to reach into the table. Rollins tries to brush it off and tell Heyman that he's nuts, but he gets pushed back. Lesnar turns over the table, and underneath the table, somehow, I guess it's Velcroed or whatever, is the axe handle from a couple of weeks ago. And Lesnar doesn't hit him with it, doesn't do anything with it, puts it on the table. Rollins reaches for it slowly, and grabs it. And as soon as he's got it in his hand, he doesn't do anything with it. He's just happy that he has it. Lesnar picks up the table and hits him in the face with the table, which is great. He throws the table at Rollins and attacks Kane. I don't know why Lesnar attacked Kane, because Kane hasn't really done anything. If anything, they've been insulting Kane all night. Rollins attacks Lesnar, suplex to Rollins, boot by Kane, 2-on-1 beatdown with the steps, and Lesnar hits a spear on Rollins. But he doesn't just hit a spear. Rollins is standing on the steps. Lesnar basically up and midair spears Rollins, takes Rollins down with him into the guardrail that's quite a few feet away. So basically he becomes a javelin, which is nice. Kane tries to chokeslam him. Kane eats an F5, obviously. And then Rollins runs. Lesnar puts Kane's foot between the steps. We see the typical very, very fake looking let's break your ankle between the steps deal. And then Lesnar leaves. Paul Heyman behind him with a smile on his face and his binder with his nice signed contract and whatever. Rollins comes back to the ring and basically goes nuts, telling off Lesnar. So he's going to burn Suplex City to the ground, all that sort of thing. Then turns his attention to Kane and says how this was his plan and this is the last time you failed him. You're nothing without me, and now that you're without me, you are nothing. He goes and he stomps on Kane's supposedly newly broken ankle and leaves, which is great because systematically we see that Triple H isn't there, Big Show's doing his own thing on Sunday, J&J Security are in pieces somewhere, and Kane has been debilitated. So if you've got Rollins fucked up in the head enough to actually think that he can go it alone against Brock Lesnar, we might see something cool out of this. We might see Seth Rollins either turning a bit face and leaving the Authority, or shedding the cowardly layers of the cowardly heel persona that he's got. It could be really good. There's more and more and more Triple H coming out every day in his promos, which I really like. But this Raw, guys, tell me, okay, other than the matches that didn't matter, other than the boring tag match at the beginning of the show, other than King Barrett versus King What's Up, tell me somebody that looked bad tonight. You really, really can't. The Divas division just tonight became one of the most exciting things they have going on right now, and they don't even technically have a Divas match announced for Battleground, so I don't know if they're going to break these girls in slowly, if they're going to have some sort of like simple like 5-minute battle royal or whatever. I wouldn't even mind that, really, at this point. After the showing we had tonight, all the other matches got time, got recognition. The IC title got spoken about. The tag team title match got spoken about tonight. The world title obviously got spoken about tonight. We're going to get King Barrett versus King What's Up, but it's on the kickoff, so who really cares? We're getting Sheamus versus Orton for reasons. We know these guys can put on good matches, and they're going to do it again. Sorry, Wyatt versus Reigns is going to be what it is when we get there, and Battleground could sneak up on us and be a really, really good show. I don't know what else to say. I'm excited. All things being equal, I should be doing the panel this Wednesday with my friends over at the Wrestle Recap crew. Obviously, you should go check them out at youtube.com/c/theblackcatfeline. Also, I believe they are shortly putting up a new channel that is actually youtube.com/c/wrestlerecap. Check them out on SoundCloud at soundcloud.com/wrestlerecap, where you can see the review that Kristen and I did for Jurassic World, because clearly that has to do with wrestling. We tried to make it in tune with wrestling. It really didn't work, but it's a good review. We spent an hour and a half talking about a 2-hour movie. Because reasons. I've rambled long enough. Battleground is this Sunday. The preview panel is this Wednesday. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Let me know if you've stayed to the end. Toss your comments down below. Toss your questions on the Q&A. The next one will be here before you know it. I've been Spaz, your YWC Reality Check. Subscribe up there. Talk down there. Start a conversation. Keep all these conversations going. Don't be a stranger. I'll talk to each and every last one of you later. But for right now, wait for it. I'm tagging out. See you later, guys.